Well, listen, not only are you live with us at 5 a.m. where you are, but you've already been up and driving around the community to get the very latest. So why don't we start right there? Any major changes overnight or new developments?
Well, no, except the weather is very calm, and we've got an overcast sky, which I think should help. I'm not a fire expert, but I think that should help our efforts today.
In terms of rain maybe being in the forecast?
Yeah, I think the rain is way late in the week, but when it's overcast, we'll see when the sun comes up if these clouds above me, have any thickness and any rain in them. But we've got some cloud cover here right now.
Okay, and when you say it's still and calm, that winds not blowing the fire any closer to you, or what's the wind status?
Yeah, the wind status is calm right now. I sure hope it'll stay like that for the rest of the day. The fire has not burned any closer to us coming from the west. The eastern front of the fire is still about 1.5 kilometers away from us, but the front of the fire has gone past the community, is burning towards the Muskwa River.
And in terms of size, when we were speaking yesterday, again, it was in the low 50s. We're now hearing, my last information was 85 square kilometers. Do you have any update to that number?
No, I don't have an update to that number.
Okay. So as I listen to you then, is there a little optimism in what you're telling me this morning?
Yes, but you'll always find that with me.
I can tell that, but basically the conditions are, shall we say, looking in your favor as opposed to, moving in imminently on your community.
Yes, I'm hopeful for that we'll get calm winds today, and the fire, if it is going to burn, will burn continuously towards the south in the river, and hopefully the river will block it there. But there is a problem there. If it does jump the river, it's not very far from the Alaska Highway to the south of us, which then potentially cuts us off to the south. Okay,
so a break, maybe, a glimmer, but still concerns and things to watch. Even as you're getting maybe a little bit of assistance on the Mother Nature end of things, Mayor Fraser, I'm sure the firefighting efforts continue. Any new resources today to add? And if so, or if not, where are you going to be focusing today?
Yeah, I think they're focusing on cutting line. And if I just pan just a little bit, you might be able to see behind me one of the fire breaks that they're actually building. And if you listen closely, you might even be able to hear the equipment way down the trail. They're working on expanding the pipeline. So for those of the folks around town that might be listening to this, the pipeline that runs down to the river from 301 is being widened, and the fire is on the west side of that. And so if the winds start blowing from the east, that break will help us for sure. So they'll be spending, as long as it's clear, I think the air assets will be out today. The helicopters will be bucketing out to the hot spots. And as long as the wind doesn't come up from the west, it won't blow any closer to the town. So right now, the Alaska Highway is the break. It's burned across the highway a little bit, but the crews have been able to get down there and put those fires out. So it's burning mainly on the west side of the Alaska Highway north of town.
So that is what you're concentrating on today. Is there any effort, do you need, given the conditions, to work on protecting structures in the community? Because I know you'd been doing that too.
Yeah, the structural support crews of the BC wildfire are amazing. They have got huge tanks set up all along the old Alaska Highway, which is inside, closer to the community from the Alaska Highway now. They've got all the houses for about a 5-mile stretch covered with sprinklers, and they've got hoses strung out. Of course, our water system will help to feed that. But we've got firefighters from all over northern BC, communities all over northern BC have set fire trucks and fire personnel. So if any of those structures do catch on fire, we'll be Johnny on the spot with water and with pumpers and with personnel to try to put those fires out immediately.
Okay. That'll be reassuring to people from your community for sure. As you mentioned, those who might be up early and watching our conversation this morning. We've been speaking to some of the people who've evacuated Fort Nelson and who are in various evacuation centers, Mayor Fraser. They've been pretty emotional, understandably, and they're worried about information. They've been telling us that they have to sort of rely on what they see through their doorbell cameras, and they've been posting those on social media. We've been showing them in our newscast this morning, literally watching the fire situation. Is there a snag there? Is there a way to get information to them in a more timely manner?
Yeah, they pretty much have to rely on the wildfire service for the updates. They're the ones who fight the fire. You know, our responsibility is to get them out of the community and get them to another place safely, and the responsibility of the host community to receive them and work with them. I'm trying to give updates as at least once a day, if not more. I'm doing as many interviews like this as I can. That's about as much as we can do.
Okay, appreciate that. And the other thing that they've been telling us, again, notably with our CBC Kelowna Bureau, they've been flagging to them, and again, if we look back to these doorbell cameras, one of the things that they're concerned about and watching through those cameras is for evidence of looting, and they said they've been hearing some reports of that. Can you speak to that, Mayor Fraser, at all? How you're protecting against that, whether you have any confirmed cases of that?
I've heard... Nobody's reported to me directly, but I have heard from a few of the people that there has been some minor looting. I think in businesses. I haven't heard of it in any of the residential areas. We think there's probably about 50 people left in the community, but most of those people are there to protect their own properties. We know who they are, but there are always some people out there who just think they might be able to take advantage of this. Of course, there's only one way in and one way out. Nobody's getting out of here with anything large like quads or side-by-sides or anything like that, because they have to haul it down the Alaska Highway, and the police have got the highway blocked off north and south. So nobody's getting out of this community with anything. If they're getting small things, they're going to hoard them someplace, and when the RCMP get back in force, they'll be able to figure out who did it.
Okay. That's a change, too. The number of people who have left since we spoke yesterday, now the number still in the community has been reduced down to 50. I'm going to let you go. You have a busy day ahead, but I just want to ask about air quality. One final question about that as we see what's going on. I'm not sure how much of that is smoke, how much of that is cloud, but how are you doing in terms of breathing and air quality today?
Yeah, air quality right now is really, really good. It's clear. As I say, it is difficult to tell the difference between the cloud and the smoke, but the smoke is not hovering around you, making your eyes sting and your nose burn. So hopefully that'll be the same for the rest of the day.
Listen, there's some really encouraging information in the conversation today, and I hope it continues for you in the community. Thank you so much, Mayor Fraser, for speaking with me again this morning.
You're welcome, Heather, and
Okay.
we'll hope to speak to you again.
We definitely will still be in touch. We'll have you back anytime you're free. Mayor Rob Fraser from Fort Nelson in British Columbia.